I came from Belarus to Denmark in 2002. I was 20 years old, so I lived first half of my life in Belarus and then all my adult life in Denmark. I came because I wanted to study, to have fun, and to discover the free world.
Hello, my name is Vera. I'm a master's journalism student in Aarhus in Denmark, and we're here for the New Nordic Lexicon with Lizaveta.
As part of the New Nordic Lexicon, students asked researchers to choose something that represents their work. Lizaveta chose the book Dogs of Europe by Aldherd Bahorovic. The book is written by a Belarusian writer and was banned in Belarus in May 2022. It is a dystopian novel depicting a dark future for Europe, where Russia has taken over several countries. It has become very popular both as a book in several languages and also a play.
Could you tell me, in short, what it is about?
It denotes kind of borderland identity. It is about a small island where people are not really Russian but not really European, yet they are something in between. They have this borderline identity that is best described by the author of this book as Dogs of Europe.
So what was the reason you chose to talk about the book?
I was asked to provide an analysis of the situation from the security and foreign policy perspective, what the Belarusian crisis means for the security in the Baltic Sea region and for Denmark in particular. With regards to the small state foreign policy, we often use such terms as balancing or bandwagoning. Those would be classics. And then hedging as well. And after 2014, Belarus tried to imitate the policy of balancing or hedging, to be more precise, trying to be a mediator in the Russian-Ukrainian crisis at that time, after Crimea and Donbass. And a lot of politicians and academics accepted this idea, this idea that Belarus could be a bridge between Russia and Ukraine, or a bridge between Russia and the EU. And Belarus itself was also pronouncing this foreign policy as a policy of bridge building. And then I thought of the Nordic Noir series, The Bridge, where a dead body is found on the bridge, and because it happens at the borderline between two countries, it's difficult to find out who should be responsible for investigating this case. So, for my research paper, I couldn't call the Belarusian foreign policy balancing anymore. I couldn't call it bandwagoning. I couldn't call it hedging. I couldn't use any of the foreign policy terms that we usually use. And then I came with this metaphor that it could be like a dead body on the bridge between Russia and Europe. I had to explain the things that were unfolding as I was writing, and finding the proper theoretical terms was a challenge. So therefore I turned to literature and film.
So why do you think the book and the play are so popular right now? Why they're getting so much attention?
They are getting attention because they're relevant not only for Eastern European people, not only for Belarusians, but they're also relevant for Europeans and for the Western world in general. The Dogs of Europe, in fact, back to your first question, are not only Belarusians. It's everyone who is muted by power, by authority, by dictatorship. It is about not falling into slavery in general. And there is a scene of burning books in the play and in the text itself, which denotes our sort of abdication of freedom. The Dogs of Europe can also denote an oppressed identity in general. And this can be applied anywhere in the world, anywhere in Europe. After the protests in Belarus, suddenly the world discovered Belarus. Denmark discovered Belarus. There is a distance of 560 kilometers between Danish border and Belarusian border, if you make a straight line. So, and the countries were so close historically. Back in the Middle Ages, there were a dynastic Danish king, Valdemar the Great, was married to a princess from Belarus, Sophia of Minsk. And just discovering the European side of Belarus would benefit a lot, because this is also something that goes unnoticed. In 2021, the Danish Foreign Ministry decided to use the name Belarus officially instead of White Russia, instead of Hviderusland in Danish. This is, just imagine you're called by your name and not some other name. It makes a huge difference for the identity building. So I think thinking in this direction would be beneficial for both Danes, Belarusians, and Europe as a whole.
If you had to compare Belarus and Denmark, how would that look like? Any similarities or differences that you see?
I understood that my own country of birth and the new country were in fact very similar, because they were shaped by similar trends of history, like big neighbors being squeezed by great powers, losses of territory, struggle for identity, small states. All this is just as relevant for Belarus as it was for Denmark.
And with that, I thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you.